Alright guys, I'm back. Doing a viewer request today. I'm going to look at something called the Disaster Deck. Got it from Amazon. Not very expensive. I can't remember the actual price, like $9, $10, something like that. Put it in text. So this is supposedly some... there we go. That looks nice. What do they say? Oh, look, they got more stuff. Get your grab-and-go box and free priority shipping. I don't know what the grab-and-go box is, but you can grab it. So this is supposedly some instructions for what happens in disastery things. They're laminated plastic cards. We see that they have the different categories here. Earthquake, flooding, hurricane, landslide, power outage, tornado, tsunami, volcano, wildfire, winter storm. You'll see that none of these categories has to do with surviving Ethan, playing Five Nights at Freddy's, so they're lacking a little bit there. But we're going to take a look at these cards and see what we think of them. And I'm going to grab a drink. Pure Fresh H2 only today, just in case you're wondering. So, they are, they're standard credit card size, but of course, thick deck, as opposed to one card. Still lightweight, even though they're all laminated and plasticky. And bound together with a little plastic, I guess, rivet thing. So, anything on the back of this? Yes, in any disaster. Stay tuned to the news and your NOAA weather radio. Now, is that... notice there were colors on here. No, I guess that doesn't have to do with anything over there. I don't know. Alright, so we're outside doing a nice outdoor video, and out of nowhere, rain comes down and starts douching all over everything. So we're back inside, but we're going to go on. Disaster deck in hand. When we last saw our heroic disaster deck, we were looking at the card. I believe we were looking at this first page right here. We were talking about, stay tuned with, they're giving you the, in any disaster, what to do. There is a color coding key on the back card. Okay. Critical information, recommended gear, section in terra firma guidebook, which I'm guessing we don't have. And item in grabbing, oh, I see. So what they do is they set it up so that you get the whole, I guess we're going to have to buy a grab-and-go box. And check it out and do a review on that, huh? So these are separate from these, and that's what so that's recommended. Man, it would be great if this came apart a little bit for you to see. Orange section in terra firma guidebook. Okay. So we're definitely going to have to get the terra firma guidebook, and we're definitely going to have to get the grab-and-go box and see what it's all about. But let's continue to go through these cards. So, now I know that I'm showing you guys the cards, and I know that some of you might be saying, like, well, don't screw over the company, because, then nobody buys the cards. Well, that's not true, because the whole point of having the cards is to have them and be able to keep them with you and travel with them. So I'm showing you what's in them, and if you like them, you can still buy them and then have them to travel with you. You know what I mean? So, so the first one is Be Well. And these are, you know what this is? This is, I'm gonna sum this up. This is calm the fuck down. This is get a hold of yourself. This is situational awareness. This is, they stress in survival school all the time. Or we also call this the will, will to survive. They all, in survival school and military, whether it's Army or Air Force, they say, without the will to survive, you will not survive. Isn't that nice? Without the will to survive, you will not survive. So be positive, So, okay, this is like just general mindfulness, taking care of yourself. Let's see what's on the next page. Oh, more Be Well. Okay. Resist rumors. That's a big one. God. Rumors in this day and age, huh? Calm children. Okay. This is actually good. Your life matters are protected. You. You can rebuild and replace. Be good to yourself and those around you. Okay. Some of those are pretty good advice. Okay, so we start with winter storm. Now let's take a look again, just basically at our... Oh, is this like backwards? I don't know. Okay. So, what is this? Oh, I thought that was something on the card, but that's just a mark in the card. So it's just general. I mean, it's like one of those books that we look at with like the general bullet points, but they are bullet points you can carry around. Stay hydrated. I like that they're putting that in the winter storm because that's a big thing that a lot of people forget about in cold weather. It's cold. When it's hot, you're thirsty, so you remember to drink. And yes, dehydration is a bigger threat in hot weather because you're sweating and you're losing water. But in cold weather situations, a lot of people they don't think of that drink. They don't think of it. And dehydration is a factor with hypothermia because you're cold, so you don't think about drinking as much. And that's good that they put that on there. I like that. Okay. So some advice for winter storm stuff. Vehicle kit, I guess that's with the... I don't remember. What is that? Okay, we got to go back. We got to look at our color-coded stuff. Section and terra firma guidebook. Okay. Interesting. Okay. What's next? Oh, more winter storm. Okay. What is red? Sorry. We're probably going to be going back to this card a lot. Critical information. Okay. Oh, this is about being stuck in a vehicle. Duh. Hello, it's stuck in a vehicle. Okay, cool. What's next? Landslide. I don't have any training for being stuck on a landslide. I'm not a big fan of the song either. In vehicle, okay. Outside. Do they have critical instructions for how to bend over, put your head between your legs, and kiss your ass goodbye? All right, some basic stuff. Not a lot you can do in the event of a landslide, but there you go. Tsunami. Evacuate. I guess that's the most critical thing you can do. The fuck out of there. Keep moving inland. Yeah. Your best chance is to evacuate by foot because the earthquake has likely damaged roads. Okay, that's interesting. If you're on the beach, the fuck off the beach. Do not go towards the water. Thanks for the hot tip there. That's good. Don't go towards the water in the tsunami. You know what? They have to put it on the card because some people need to be told. What else? In a tsunami hazard zone, okay. Do not wait for the official warning when the shaking stops. So the premise here is that the tsunami follows an earthquake, which it usually does, but it doesn't have to. But, okay. And notice how they keep telling you, keep moving inland. So it must be really important. What's next? Wildfire. This has affected me. In Idaho, it's a very dry state, and just about every summer there were some big wildfires. One year to the point where, so the base in Idaho is in Mountain Home, which used to be called Rattlesnake Junction or Rattlesnake Valley or something, and they changed the name to make it sound more inviting. But there was the point one year, I think it was 2007, maybe, they actually evacuated the town of Mountain Home while they got the wildland firefighters to start doing ditches and controlled burns because it was coming in and like the fire was jumping across I-84 and stuff. When I was younger and I was a cadet in Civil Air Patrol, there were wildfires in Long Island, and as Civil Air Patrol, we ran shelters out on Long Island. So I'm very familiar with wildfire stuff. So go now, yeah. Wildfire is no joke, and the smoke in the air from wildfires. Bodies have been found just from the asphyxiation of people caught in it. From that, so let's see. In a vehicle, okay, all right. I don't want this video to be too long. Volcano. Once again, if you're in a volcano, get the fuck out of there. If you are, I love just the common sense stuff they put under there. If you are near the volcano, go in the opposite direction. Okay. What else do we have for volcano? All I think about is the South Park. Duck and cover.
But what should you do if a volcano erupts near you or your family? That's right, Jane. Duck and cover.
Ashfall. Do not drive. Okay. All right. Cool. Heat wave. I think they should have put this right. Like heat and cold weather should be together. Environmental injuries and hazards should be together. You should learn them together. Definitely. So let's see. Okay. In the military, we have a flag index, and it's it's not always about the heat. It's about the humidity and the heat, and it has like work to rest ratios and amount of water you have to drink per hour, and like, so there's like green flag, yellow flag, red flag, black flag, and even in the military, black flag, if it's black flag conditions, it's like even in combat, it affects what you can do. I mean, obviously, if you got to fight, you got to fight, but there's all sorts of, like, military takes heat and cold environmental situations really seriously because people die. People die, so. All right. Earthquake. Oh, drop, cover, and hold on. Cool. And then they advise you to flip to your tsunami card, you know, if you're on the coast, something. I've been in 2 earthquakes in my life. A small one in New York, and then when I was in Vegas at Nellis, it just all of a sudden, and I don't know earthquakes, you know, obviously I don't know how strong they are, but I was sitting there in my billeting room getting ready for a training mission at weapons school the next day, and yeah, the ground shook and it vibrated. Nothing fell. It wasn't like, obviously it wasn't a California level earthquake, but I definitely knew something was happening, and it was weird. But you know, at Nellis, all sorts of weird stuff goes on, so I thought maybe it was just some weird airplane flying overhead, but no, we had a little earthquake. It was weird. It was cool. It was kind of cool. So, got that. Flooding. Again, the common sense stuff they put in if floodwater is blocking your path, take an alternate route. And, you know, who would you say is buried in Grant's tomb? I mean, duh. But okay. Move to higher ground immediately. Cool. What else we got? If you see sparks or hear buzzing, crackling, snapping, or popping inside your home, get out immediately. Cool. Tornado. Tornado was a very effective aircraft flown by the Brits, the Germans, and the Italians. The British and the Saudis flew the air-to-air version, the F-3, and it was like their version of the F-15. Actually had the exact same armament as the F-15. And the Brits, the Germans, and the Italians flew the Tornado GR, which was the ground attack, and it was phenomenal. It retired sort of recently, but one of its last deployments, we had them in Afghanistan with them, and they're badass guys. Anyway, in a vehicle, tornadoes. Okay, I've never been in a tornado. I'm not sorry about that either. So there's tornado stuff. Hurricane. I've been in several hurricanes. Thank God we got out of Florida about 6 months before Hurricane Michael came through and destroyed Tyndall. Wow. You know what? I'm lucky. Okay. So, there's nothing groundbreaking in these. I mean, you know what? A lot of it is some common sense stuff, but I get it because in the event, a lot of times that common sense part of your brain shuts down because you're panicking. So it is good to have it on the card. Yeah. Thunder and lightning. Very, very frightening. Me. Galileo, 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 Galileo. Sorry. Magnifico. Alright, no, done. Sorry, done. Lightning. Lightning is another thing that shuts down the United States military. Lightning within 5. Yeah, okay. I mean, thunder. Is thunder really a problem? Lightning, I get. Lightning is a hazard. Thunder, though? And then we've got this disclaimer. This is basically saying if you If you follow our advice and you die, it's not our fault, probably. There it is. The information we have included is not exhaustive. Every person, family, and disaster situation is different, blah, 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 blah. Okay. More disclaimer. When you have 2 whole pages of disclaimer, whatever. So what they're saying is basically this is informational only. They're not held responsible if, you eat it with this. So what do we think of this? Again, it is good. So, okay. Again, going back to military, we do a lot of training. Like the reason that you train is so that when you do the real thing, it becomes like second nature. The word muscle memory comes to mind. You train 1,000 times so that when you have to do it for real once, you don't really have to sit and think about it. You do it. But at the same time, in the U.S. military, we have a checklist for just about everything because we train so much and there are so many scenarios. You can't possibly expect people to remember in the heat of the moment, in the stress of battle, every single thing. Especially in critical things like, let's take an aircraft emergency, for example. When there is an emergency in flight in an aircraft, there's a lot of different systems and a lot of different causes that can go wrong. That's why we have checklists. So yeah, with all the training in the world and all the knowledge, that's great. But in the heat of the moment, it is great to have that checklist to follow through so you don't miss anything, even though it's common sense. Like, so if you're having engine problems, one of the first things you do as a pilot is to jettison your bombs and stuff so that you have the lightest plane possible. That's on the checklist to remind you, jettison your tanks, jettison your bombs. Guess what? Some guys have to, because, oh shit, I have no engine. I'm in this plane that is one of the most sophisticated war machines ever built, but it is still a 30,000-pound machine that now has no engine to push it anymore. My hair's on fire. That's why the checklist comes. And that's basically what this is. This is a little disaster checklist. Even though it's not specifically done on little boxes to check, it is reminders of some of that stuff that even though you might know, it's in your face. Like they say, it's not all-encompassing. There is a lot more to it. It's very basic. I guess we're going to have to get the Terra Firma guidebook and the grab-and-go box to see what it has to offer. For its money, $9 or so, is it like a mind-blowing survival item? I don't think so. Is it good to have on hand? Yeah, I do. Especially if you, let's say you are trained, you have experience, you might be dealing with some folks that aren't. It's a good thing to have to pass around. It's a good thing to refresh your own memory on some stuff. It's another one of those nice to haves, better to have it, not need it. I don't know. I'm not suggesting everybody run out and buy one, not at all. But I've seen worse. So, I don't know. Like I said, it was a viewer request. They wanted to see kind of what was in it and what I thought of it. So we've looked at it. Some more briefly than others. It is very small, lightweight. You can throw it in any bag. You can throw it in any pocket. And it is weatherproof and, I mean, pretty rugged as it is. It would be nice if it did come apart and you could look at the cards individually, but I understand then, too, half of us out there would be prone to then to just lose stuff. So I understand why it's like plastic riveted together. So, all right, guys. So what do you think? Anybody own one and find it very useful? Is there anybody? I know I got the one request for it, and I'll be totally honest. It was pretty inexpensive and easy to get, so I said, "The hell with it! I'll just grab it." You know what? And maybe someone else is interested too. So anybody else out there, had a curiosity, or maybe you never heard of it, but now you're like, "Hey, that's kind of cool." What do you guys think? Let's talk about it. So, don't have permission to use the name, but you know who you are. Thanks for the suggestion and the request. I think it was interesting for us to look at. Thanks everybody else for spending some time with us today. Remember that you guys are all absolutely awesome. And I appreciate every single one of you, and I'll be back again real soon.